Hey folks, this is Jake Davis with an on-the-fly review for you, and today I'm talking about Terminator Dark Fate. Directed by, first, it sucked. It sucked. It really fucking sucked. But anyhow, directed by Tim Miller, who did Deadpool, and starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, eventually, Linda Hamilton, Mackenzie Davis, and who gives a shit? I can't remember the girl's name now. Small cameo in there by Edward Furlong. I'm gonna go ahead and say spoiler review on this, even though I'm not sure if I'm gonna give you any actual spoilers for this, but I'm damn sure not going to try to avoid them. This movie isn't worth that much effort. The whole setup here, it's the sixth Terminator movie. It's T6. And this movie, by the way, is the third sequel in a row to pretty much ignore the ending of the last movie. So, yeah, this story picks up in 1998, where a Terminator eventually catches up with John Connor and kills him. Modern times, Sarah Connor is Terminator, and she's getting these text messages, emails from some mystery source telling her where Terminators pop up, and she's always there to kill them. And this has been what she's been doing. Well, she's also been doing some kind of criminal activity all over the country. Super vague, but I guess it's supposed to make her look tough. Sarah Connor's the worst character in this whole movie. She's completely unlikable, bitter. Just every time she opens her mouth, you just want her to shut the fuck up. You fucking bitter, miserable old sow. She talks about my son died. And I don't give a shit. Just shut the fuck up. I'm sick of hearing it. I'm sick of your goddamn mouth. Anyhow, I hated her. I hated what they did with Sarah Connor in this. Just one fucking note character. And okay, so the Terminators now are sent back, and they're coming after a young girl who is a strong, she's leader of her family. She's like 20 years old. She's like 20 years old, but she's clearly the head of her household, looking after her dad and her brother. And she's attacked by a Terminator. Her protected Terminator is they call Kyle Reese calls the Terminator in the first film a cyborg, but it's not what that is. So Mackenzie Field gets to play I guess, where was the Edgar character, or was it Marcus? Yeah, Marcus character in Terminator 4. Oh my god, those movies don't even matter now, because in the new timeline, this timeline, it wasn't Skynet, it was Legion that wiped out humanity, and it wasn't with bombs. It was by turning off our fucking cell phones. And basically, the robots took over. They killed everybody, but mankind did most of the damage to themselves. Just. And then you get into the. Okay, so Grace is an actress. She was a soldier. Out of fear of death, volunteered for augmentation. And there's never any kind of hint or talk about her kind of losing any of her humanity, doing anything like that. It's you turn yourself into, you're using the enemy, you're using the ring, kind of shit. But it's just stupid. I thought it was a god-awful film. Anyhow, Grace, who, to her credit, is the more interesting character of the film. She really is. The two Terminators are actually the most interesting things about the movie, even though I hate them both. The villain was alright. I kind of like how the idea that the Terminators have progressed and gotten so manipulative that they can almost simulate a personality. They can simulate a personality, and that was kind of cool. The guy was good in it, and you could tell he had taken hints from Robert Patrick's performance. You don't really see him inhale or blink. There's a lot of running, but anyhow, so Grace is, and they make a point to make her unattractive and uneffeminate. And the short hair. They intentionally point out she wears men's clothing twice in the film. And, where in cases like the Ghostbusters reboot was clearly anti-man, made by a guy who publicly said he thinks men aren't even funny. It's like, dude, if you don't think Bill Murray's funny, why are you making a Bill Murray It's, whoa. I wasn't totally against an all-girl Ghostbusters. I'm not against a chick Terminator, because guess what? We've had one before. This isn't new. You know what I mean? Kristanna Loken was a Terminator, and she was terrific in that. She was really good in that movie. Arnold was the embarrassment in that one, just camping it up. Her deal, she's coming back, she's saving the girl, and Connor gets involved. And, Connor's assuming it's the same thing. She's gonna give birth to the new leader of the Resistance, but no, she is the new leader of the Resistance, which is, of course, you see coming a mile away, because, it has to be something slightly different just for it to, exist. Just to justify its own existence, and secondly, it's a Terminator movie, so all the twists were given away in the trailer. So, and eventually, Arnold gets involved over an hour into the movie. And it's so crazy, all the talk about, women empowerment and stuff like this. This movie absolutely shits on women. Shits on it. It's like anti-femininity. Attractiveness. Not even the attractiveness, being effeminate, is looked down on in this movie. And so is motherhood. And it's not so much it's anti-man, because most of the men in the film are very selfless and self-sacrificing. But it said to me this movie was heavily anti-woman. If the actual in-game goal is for equality, is for women, all women should act like the worst kind of men in the world. Aggression and arrogance and all this kind of shit you see in just the total fucking assholes. The guys who start bars and fights or wars. Just come on, seriously? This is what you want to aspire to be? Wow, just whatever. Anyhow, I thought this was a dog shit movie, man. I really hated Terminator Dark Fate. I guess I should point out the handful of things that, I liked the villain. I liked his performance. I liked the deal with him. His kind of whole new thing he was. He could, separate his liquid form could separate from his metallic form, and, they could, tag team kind of thing. That was kind of cool. I liked Arnold in it. Once he popped up, he was funny. And the effects, and the attempt to explain how we got here, but at the same time, we were now, if there's a sequel to the Terminator from this, it will take place in a world where literally everything that happened in those first two films would be irrelevant. They don't matter. They even though they happen in this timeline, they don't matter to the now new existing future. I think that shits on the franchise. I think that shits on the series. But it's not the first time this franchise has been ruined. I have a kindred spirit with Terminator. I was born in '84. We only got the one Ghostbusters movie as a kid, so I kind of always felt like, looking forward to a new Terminator movie kind of felt like, oh man, when's it going to come? Because there's always talk of another Terminator movie around the bend. I specifically have this very vivid memory of being on the school bus, right when Terminator 2 came out on VHS, I didn't see it in the theaters. I was only 6 or 7 years old. But it just come out on VHS. I was in first grade. And I remember being on the school bus because my dad had rented it or bought it the night before. And I just know Terminator 2's at the house. As soon as I get off this bus and through that door, I'm gonna fucking watch Terminator 2. I was stoked. I was so stoked I was practically chanting it, Terminator 2! It was a very exciting thing. I have very vivid memory of that. And I saw the third one in the theaters, which was a weird thing because I didn't get a chance to catch it till like a month after it came out. So by the time I went to the theaters to see it, I was literally the only guy in the entire fucking showing of the movie, which was cool and sad at the same time. It's always great to go to the theater. When you go to the movies, you want to see a movie with an audience of strangers. It's kind of the point. But I'm sitting there just alone, kind of feel like Cecil B. DeMille, screening this picture, waiting for an usher to come in and say, hey, come in here, bring me some popcorn, and tell them what they need to do the reshoots. Anyhow. I hated it, and performance-wise, I thought Mackenzie Davis did. She played the role they gave her fine. But I thought, and even Linda Hamilton too, but I just hated what they did with Sarah Connor. They just throw John Connor away like a fucking Snickers wrapper. It's garbage. I don't want to give it a turkey because, like I said, the visual effects people, the sound people, the cosmetic aspect of the film was terrific, which should be expected from an Arnold movie. But I can't tell anybody to go see this movie. So half a star. Anyhow, hope y'all like, share, subscribe if you want. I don't give a shit. I'm Jake Davis. Oh, by the way, tomorrow's Halloween. I'm going to try to get one more video out there. It's going to be a top 5. If I can do it, I'm not going to tell you what it is because if I don't have the time to do it, because, family and everything. I don't want to feel bad about not putting it out there after saying it. And I don't want it to be late either. So, if I don't do it tomorrow, I'll just do it some other time. I'm Jake Davis, and I'll catch you on the fly.